Hey guys, what's up everyone? It's Jackie Felix here, and today I just want to give you guys a quick content patch note update for Global Labs on the 5th of November 2021. Some very interesting changes. I just want to go through the Siege and No War changes with you guys real quick because there's some really nice quality of life and also some new stuff being added to No War and Siege. So yeah, let's get into it real quick. Now, first off, there's a new siege tank that they released a while back, and it's finally being implemented onto Global Labs, and essentially it's kind of like a capture of the payload kind of like playstyle, where essentially so like for the 1 hour mark and the 2 hour mark. These military wagons will appear at random locations, and essentially, the guild that does the most damage to the wagon at the end when it's destroyed will take control of the tank, right? Now these tanks can only appear during siege for Calcium, Madai, and Valencia, so keep that in mind. And these tanks are pretty good at destroying structures, gates, and barricades. However, they are vulnerable to elephants and horses. These siege tanks last for around about 1 hour, and at the end of siege, the tanks will be automatically destroyed. Now, these things look pretty fucking cool. Like, look at that. That looks pretty badass. I'm pretty sure a person can go inside the siege tank and take control of it, kind of like an elephant. So that'll be interesting. And then apart from that, they're also making some improvements or some buffs to the Ballista. So giving it 50% movement speed and rotation speed, and as well as giving it 50% speed while moving and stopping, essentially, so making it a lot faster. And then improving its damage as well, where it's 30% increased damage to gates, 20% increased damage to players, and also 30% increased damage to siege forts. And then not only that, there's also a 100% damage increase for annexes, which is pretty big. So I guess we'll see if this makes ballistas a little bit more relevant again. I know they've been in game for a while, just no one really uses them, I think, because they're kind of meme. Another nice quality of life change here is they made it so you can see the region where you can plant your fort for sieges. So once you click on the Medaya region, the Valencia or the Calcium region, you can kind of see where you can drop your siege fort for siege, showing that highlight zone. So that's a nice quality of life change. Now onto the big stuff now. The biggest changes are essentially, here you can now do node wars when you siege. So if you own a region, you can now participate in node wars. And the other thing is, the other big thing is you're no longer locked. You're no longer locked in a node war region. So essentially, you can, if you own nodes in Medaya, you can still drop in Karma Sylvia. But if you win that node in Karma Sylvia, you won't gain control of that node. That node will just be freed or liberated, essentially. And this also changes so that instead of only node warring 3 days a week, which is Sunday and your 2 set days for the region, you can pretty much node war for the entire week if you want to, and defend for the entire week, which has its benefits and problems as well. Apart from that, there's also been some big changes in terms of how Banos, Iridium, Medaya, Valencia, Calcium, and Karma Sylvia operates. They're adding caps to the number of participants that can. So, for example, in Banos, you can have 25 players, Serendia is 30, Medaya is 40, Valencia is 50, Karma's 50 as well, and Calcium is 100. So, this is a pretty decent change. The population or player base, there's not really that many guilds that can bring close to 100 people for node wars regularly at all. and when it is, it's essentially all cool, and guilds can't do that on a very regular basis. So this is a very nice change, capping the number of participants to around 40-50 players for tier 2 to tier 4. So that's good. And then also at the same time making it so that there are also gear cap node wars for tier 2 and tier 3. I don't know if this is really necessary, but I guess this can help some newer guilds putting gear caps on node wars for Medaya and Valencia as well. So yeah, essentially just recap real quick for you guys. New siege tank improvements or buffs to Ballista. You can now see the region where you can build in for siege. Siege guilds that own a region can now do node wars, and you are no longer locked into a region for node wars. You can now, if you own a node in Karma Sylvia, you can attack another guild on Medaya, essentially, if you want to. And also, they made it so that certain territories are capped at 40-50 players instead of all regions being capped at 100 players, and also they added gear caps to, or stat caps to, stage 2 and stage 3, so tier 2 and tier 3 node wars. So that's a pretty decent change. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section down below. Apart from that, I'll see you guys next time. Okay, peace.